Now we're going to jump right in. The Facebook ad secrets they don't want you to know. All right. So here's the Facebook algorithm. Okay. This is in no particular order. It's not like an order of importance or anything like that. But these are all the pieces of the algorithm. Okay. It does your ad show. You have to have timing has to be right. You have to have a good bid and so on. So we're going to go over these kind of one by one. So the importance of time. The first aspect of time is when to start your ad sets. Okay, if you want them to pace evenly, then you're going to want to start your ad sets at about midnight. Okay, account time zone. That's when your ads will pace evenly through the day, and there shouldn't be that many blips. It won't cost you extra. Something you can do though is you can start your ads partway into the day the first time. Call it like the rev up, and Facebook will push more traffic at you faster. And to do this, they give you a higher placement in the news feed. Okay, so if you basically just start your ad part way into the day, you'll get an artificially higher CTR because Facebook is putting you higher in the news feed. Okay, this means you'll end up getting a lower cost per click, lower cost per conversion, and so on. Pro tip, so one thing I found too is that sometimes, so I'll do this usually the first time and then I just kind of like let it run. But if I'm seeing that I'm not getting the traction I need or my CTR is a little bit low, then what I'll do is I'll try starting my ads, I'll pause them at whatever time, maybe it's midnight, maybe it's 5 p.m., but then I'll turn them back on at like 4 a.m., okay? And this causes Facebook to like give it a little push. Not like a rev up where you're starting it at maybe like noon or even 4 p.m. When you do that, it's gonna burn through a lot of money the first day, but then that gives you a really good history for the next day. So this one is more started at like around 4 a.m. Okay, and what this does is just gives you like that little push that gives you a higher CTR right off the bat. So I found you can, if your CTR, let's say, is usually around 1%, you could probably get it up to like 1.1 or 1.2% with this hack. So 10 or 20% boost, nothing insane. But at scale, it makes a big difference, okay? At scale, you need to hit every single little piece of these things to do it right. All right? And then the next aspect of time is how old is your post, okay? Or how old is your ad, right? And I'll give you an extreme example. Say that you're going to run a new campaign and you set up a new ad today, right? But then the client's like, I don't know, let me think about it. Like, we need to pause, our site's not ready, something happened, whatever. You come back 6 months later, you can't just unpause that ad, right? That ad is 6 months old. To Facebook, that looks like no one liked it. You published it, and it didn't get any likes or shares, comments, nothing like that, right? That is a very low engagement ad that's very old. So there is a lot of benefit, basically, to having your budgets very high and slamming in traffic quickly, because let's say that the red line is an ad, and the blue line is an ad, okay? And going up is the number of visitors, and out here is length of time, right? They both get to the same spot eventually of number of visitors or amount of traffic sent to them, let's say. But which one do you think Facebook's going to favor, right? The red one. The red one, because it looks like it's going viral. It has that virality factor where you slam traffic in. So to Facebook, that looks like a much better ad than this one, even if they're exactly the same. So basically, takeaway there is just start your ads. Make your ads like the day before you're going to use them. Just don't make them like a week in advance or 2 weeks in advance. And then I always caution people too a little bit. I know that sometimes people do, and we do this sometimes too at the agency, but we'll have like a campaign in the ad account for just testing creatives. But I try not to test too early, not like weeks in advance, maybe like just days in advance. All right, next is the bid and CTR. And actually, can someone grab me a water, throw me a water? Anybody? All right. Cool. So the bully method, so bidding and CTR kind of coming together, and you may have heard of the bully method, you may have even used it, but I'm going to explain why it works, and maybe you'll see, maybe you'll understand if you didn't do it right or something like that. So basically, the bully method is simple. You're literally just starting your bid like 3 to 5 times higher than whatever your conversions really cost. If your conversions cost $30, then bid like 90 to 150. If your conversions are 150, then yes, bid like 500, 700 bucks, something like that. Don't be scared. It's not like you're actually going to spend that amount of money on a conversion. It's just bidding. All right. It has a lot of benefits, okay? So just like when you start your ads a little bit later in the day, it gives you that little push by putting you higher in the newsfeed. When you bid really high, you also get a higher ad placement in the newsfeed from that also, okay? So what that does is, again, it gives you that higher CTR because you're getting a better placement. So like if you guys have ever run Google ads, whoever has that top spot on the Google search ad usually gets a bulk of the traffic, okay? And usually they have a higher CTR only because it's the first ad. It doesn't mean it's a better ad. It just means that they have a better placement, okay? So people don't really think about placement in the newsfeed, but if you're that first ad or two, you're gonna have a much better CTR than if you're bidding low and you're like, what's the odds of someone clicking your ad when they scroll past like 10 or 12 other ads in the newsfeed that Facebook thought they would like? The odds of them clicking your ad are not very good, okay? So you're gonna basically have a shit CTR, and then when you try to scale, it's gonna be a lot harder because to Facebook, they're like, people don't like this ad, you know? So again, like I said, higher CTR because you're in the newsfeed higher. This gives you, at the end of the day, a higher relevance score and ultimately a lower cost per click, which typically will mean a lower conversion cost also. But one of the biggest things that people don't really realize is that you actually get better quality users too. And I really want to hammer that home. So this is basically like how Facebook buckets their users, okay? It's based on machine learning, and this is a very heavily simplified view of it, but this should hopefully help you understand. So when you're bidding on purchases, okay, Facebook is looking at, whatever audience you specified, and they're trying to like pick the purchasers out of that, okay? And they're looking at, are people adding stuff to the cart from your competitors, and maybe they abandoned it, but that's like someone who's like ready to buy. Are they Googling stuff about it? Facebook has tons of data and signals to look at. So Facebook will have a bucket of people most likely to purchase, okay? These are the people that, are ready to go, right? Then you've got these users, which is like, Facebook's like, I don't really know if they're going to purchase. Maybe, you know? Then you've got these ones, they're like, they might. And then here where they're like, we have no clue if they're going to purchase. Like, I don't know. They probably have an ad blocker on or something. Who knows, right? But if you bid high, you get these users, okay? These users typically spend more money also. You have typically a much higher average order value. You typically will have a much higher lifetime value with these users. And you'll have more consistency. A lot of times you'll notice you have very inconsistent results when you're just like auto bidding or manual bidding low because you're getting somewhere in this range, right? Where some days you're going to get lucky and get the good users, and some days you're going to get these users, okay? That's why you have like such inconsistent days all the time. That's one of the reasons, at least. Facebook's a little wonky anyway, but that's huge, okay? So when you start the ad account out and you're bidding high, you're getting these primo users to your page, okay? And then those are the users that are checking out, adding to cart, purchasing, visiting your other pages. And then when you make lookalikes of your visitors and your purchasers and all that, you're lookaliking these people instead of these people, right? So then your lookalikes become more powerful, and ultimately your ROAS just goes up. All right. So next is history, and the history is pretty simple. Basically, Facebook is just looking at everything they can look at and making a determination there. So they're looking at on an ad account level. On a page level, on a campaign level, and so on, what users were converting? What's your, what's your conversion rate compared to your competitors? How's your engagement rate looking? How's the quality of your ads, et cetera, et cetera? They're looking at all the aspects they can. One of the things is if you've been running ads the wrong way for a client for a while and you just can't make something work, that's why a lot of times I'll recommend just try a new ad account and page, because there's history on a page level too. So if you try a new ad account and page, a lot of times you'll see a whole completely different result. So I do recommend that if you try everything else and you just can't dig yourself out of a hole because you've been running ads for a while on an ad account, then you just got to make a new one. But all right, next is creative type. So basically the algorithm is choosing which creative type to show a user based on like a ton of factors, okay? One obviously would be like ad types they've clicked before, right? So if I usually click video ads, guess what? Facebook's going to mainly show me video ads. But if I mainly click DPAs, they're going to mainly show me DPAs, okay? And so on. But they're also looking at the device that you're logged in from currently. So if Facebook sees that, hey, Tim usually clicks on video ads when he's on desktop, But when he's on mobile, he doesn't usually watch the video ads, but he'll click on image ads. So Facebook will take that into consideration and start showing me mainly image ads on my phone while they show me video on my desktop, okay? But this is important, and they're looking at stuff like, also like, are you on Wi-Fi or not, right? How's your bandwidth speed? If you're on a if you have no Wi-Fi and they see that the Facebook app is taking forever to load, they're not going to serve you a video ad because there's no way in hell you can even play the video ad, right? So they're looking at all these different things. Product type, they're looking at like what type of product it is and what historically users have clicked to buy that product. And even like which creative type users like those users have converted on. So they're looking at like lookalikes, so to speak, on the back end also, okay? But this is important because this is why you need to basically try all the different creative types and not just one. Don't only do images, don't only do video, okay? You need to do like a combination of everything because the auction inventory looks roughly like this. This is my own graph, this is not from Facebook. But this is roughly how I see the auction kind of breaking down when I scroll through it and when I see look at client accounts and stuff like that. More than half of the inventory is video. Okay, so if you're not taking advantage of video heavily, you're missing out on a lot of money. Then you got obviously a lot of image and link ads, probably about 20 to 25% of the auction. And then you've got, of course, carousel ads, DPA, lead forms, event ads, whatever, right? A little sliver there. But you need to have multiple creative types in all your ad sets, not just one, so that you can hit all the people in the auction, okay? And let Facebook decide when is the right time to serve which one. They do a pretty good job of that now.